to you, but just me and editing will just put it as still number 1. So she was putting on makeup to make me feel better. So when I go to school, my teacher would sometimes walk around and wait for students. Because sometimes students wouldn't come on a perfect time. And so she found me. And we were like next to the principal's office. Like the principal wasn't in there, he was in his office before the principal. So I think this was no. Okay. This is the second story. And my principal is already scared of my mother. At this time. And the look on his face the first time, I almost laughed, all because I just thought it was funny. But, so she's 5, not 15. And by the time, Lily was my best friend, and I'll talk about Lily after this story. No, after the second story. And so I don't tell Lily because it's personal. So when she says she's 5, not 15, I don't know what. I guess my mom just threw a angry bomb with my principal. But basically, that's what happened. Now, last story before I talk about Lily, my best friend. She's a best friend. So, first story ever to be about a teacher. So, I have extreme anxiety. And my teacher knew that. So I didn't feel comfortable squishing the squishy outside of my desk. Because kids be like, oh, Miss Teacher. I'm not going to say her real name. Toy is doing this. Why can't we do it, but she can? So I just put in my hands into my desk. And she went, Toy, what are you playing with? We're learning, not playing. That's what I think she thought in her head. But she said, Toy, what are you playing with? And I go, nothing. And then she looks at my desk. Because I'm too scared that she'll shout it out and all the kids will look at me all rudely. So when we do that, she takes out my squishy and she's like, I'm keeping this until your mother comes. And then she calls my mom before car riders. And most of my friends were bus riders. So when she called my mom, she said, Tuli can't be playing with her toys. Tell her that. And she goes, what toy? So my teacher shows her. She's like, that's her stress ball. No, it's a toy. It's a toy. That's not any stress ball. Stress ball is a ball. And she goes, it is a ball. It has animal legs on it. And she goes, no, this is clearly a toy. So my mom looks at her, and I just get all scared. And she goes, in her scary voice, no, that's her squish. That's her stress ball. And one last time, she goes, "No, it is a toy." With all my friends just looking. So, next day, my mom walked me in, having the principal. She asked the principal to follow her. Principal does. She goes to my kindergarten class, and she has the principal right next to her. And then she asked the principal, "Do you read your children's medical papers?" And he goes, "Yes, Chayla Gaither, yes." Then why am I getting my child crying after school saying that Miss Richmond took her stress ball and she's been not okay? So why is she taking her stress ball? Because she has anxiety. Do you not read that? Do you guys read that? So then she gets fired after the next story, and yeah. Let me talk about Lily now. And since she's my friend, I'm going to put in Lily games. Okay, 1 minute. Let me. Lily! Lily games. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'll play something cool. And I'll be playing Escape Prison. So after that, yeah. Now let me tell you about Lily. I have a few more stories that I can tell you guys. You know what? I'm gonna just tell the last teacher story. Oh, yes. Okay. Now there's 2 more stories I want to tell, and I will. What goes on here? Where do we go? Do we go in here? Or do we go up there? Why over here it's all this color? Wait, you go in there? Ah! Oh, okay. I don't need this. How do I get off this? Okay. So this is another Miss Thompson story, I think. Wait, is it? Okay, let me just tell the 2nd grade one. No, now I remember. So Miss Thompson insinuated that I was stupid. Okay, that was the whole story. Okay, now let me tell you about my second grade teacher. So, my mom helps me with my work, or sometimes I fall asleep. She makes me do it in the morning. Or sometimes she writes down the answers on a little sheet of paper because I'm not going to be waking up at 4. So my teacher texted my mom one day saying, my second grade one, saying, stop doing your daughter's homework. She's not that smart, you know. Everyone knows she's not that smart. And I don't know what gone on after that. But my mom told me that she's on something that if she messes up one more time, she gets fired instantly. Doesn't matter if it was an accident or not. Okay, there. Now let me tell you about Lily. Okay, so Lily, my dear. She's a complete goddess. Okay, so Lily, sometimes I didn't know what my homework was. And, like, she would help me get the answers. Like, what's 10 take away 8? Because I was dumb. So she's like, this is the answer, and this is the answer. There you go. And, like, when you were in kindergarten, when someone gave you the answer, you're like, okay, now you're telling my best friend. So that's what I thought. So now we're best friends. Because what I said in kindergarten. And we finally found each other in 3rd grade. And it's just completely... Yes! And did you know we only have 4 girls in our class? There's not a bunch of boys. But there is a bunch of girls. Wait, did I say there's not a bunch of boys, there's a bunch of girls? There's not a bunch of girls, there's a bunch of boys. Male population. So, yeah. I'll be posting part 2 where you just watch me oof myself to death.